Hello and welcome to 50 Fabulous Knits. My name is Pia. I am a Danish knitter coming to you from the northern part of Italy where I am currently living. If you are a new viewer, welcome. I really hope that you will enjoy this podcast. At the end of the episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about life in general, but this is mainly a podcast about yarn and knitting. And if you're a returning viewer, you already know this, and I can only say that I am so happy and grateful that you've come back to knit with me again. Today, I'm trying to record outside. There will be some ambient noise, and if it's too much, I'm gonna have to move in, but let's see how it goes. We do have this teeny tiny road going by the house. It's this narrow little thing that just winds its way further up the mountain. It's kind of dangerous to navigate, so we all have our different strategies for dealing with it, and a popular strategy in this area seems to be to minimize the amount of time that you spend on such a dangerous road. So in other words, people are gonna come flying by at warp speed, and if that happens, I'm probably just gonna hit pause for a second. But yeah, let's see what happens. Today I am wearing a finished object. That's even something that I never showed you as a work in progress because it's such a quick and easy knit. It doesn't show really well, does it? It's the Secret Summer Crop by Jessie Made. I'm just gonna put a picture here so that you can really see the top. It is this easy little crop top that is just perfect for a warm summer day. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I will of course link to the pattern in my show notes below. I will say though that I did make some modifications to it. Most noticeably, I knitted in a 2x2 ribbing rather than the plain stockinette that the pattern calls for. And also I played around with the sizes. It is knit bottom up, and I cast on for a size medium, and then I increased my stitch count until I hit a size large around the bust. And yeah, I'm loving this little crop top. I'm using it a ton. I use it like this with my dungarees, but I also use it with my jeans shorts and then just a big white shirt that I just tie in front. I really love this. It's perfect for summer. I knitted in Drop Spell, which is a cotton linen viscose blend. I will say that while this yarn is perfect for summer knits, if I were to knit this again, I'd probably go with a wool instead. But then of course it wouldn't be as suitable for summer. But I could see myself knitting one for fall because it's a great layering piece. I first saw it on Heather and Hops, the podcast where Catherine has made a million of these little crop tops. And I've been looking at it for a while, and then I decided, yeah, I'll go ahead and make one. And I am not sad about that for sure. I do have a couple of finished objects to share. Except for this one. I have finally finished my Birds of a Feather shawl. This has been on my needles forever and ever, and I'm just gonna show it real quickly because probably everybody knows Andrea Mowry's beautiful shawl. I don't know why it took me so long to finish it. I cast it on for a trip. I thought it would be perfect airplane knitting, and it would have been. I just didn't do it. But then a couple of weeks ago I decided now's the time. Now I need to finish this because this is also a perfect summer piece. It's a bit warm right now, but tonight when everything is just a little bit chillier, this is perfect to just wrap around and I'll be fine. I knitted out of some drops kit silk in the white, and then this one is my own hand-dyed yarn on my sock base in the color that is called Den Lille Havfrue or the Little Mermaid. I will of course also link to Andrea Mowry's pattern in the show notes, but I'm sure you all know about this shawl. I'm loving it. This is my second version. I actually made one in some fall autumnal colors like brownish gray colors, and I've been wearing that a lot. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this summery, springy, happy one. I also finished 2 pillows, or pillow covers actually. It looks like a lot more than what it really is because it is super simple, perfect car knitting. I knit one of them almost entirely on the drive down here from Denmark, and then I knit the other one while we've been here. So they're super easy. What I do is I swatch so that I know how many stitches I need for 10 centimeters. Then I measure my pillow, do the math that is that simple is okay. Then I do my cast on as if I were to knit toe-up socks. I don't remember what it's called, that cast on, but the one where you actually get to knit around so that you don't have a seam for the cast on. And once it's long enough, I put the pillow inside and then I close it with some kitchen stitch. And of course that means that I cannot take this cover off to clean it. I'll figure out a way to keep it clean with the pillow inside. These tassels or pom-poms, whatever you'd call them, they're just little strips of an old sheepskin that I had. I just attached them here in the corners and then glued the strips together. I think probably you can see it here, right? So just yeah, tied it to the corners and glued them together. So yeah, happy new pillows, and they just look amazing in my living room. I think that I needed those new pillows. I'm gonna make more because the pillows in my living room, I've been going through phases like, oh, I should do pink accents here, or I should do green accents. But now I have realized, no, I don't do accents. I do neutrals. I'm happy with my neutrals. Not gonna mess that up. So, the yarns that I used for these pillows, this, I have no idea what it is. It is some deep stash. It feels like a wool blend of some sort, but I have no idea. There was no bull band on it. It had just been laying there forever and ever. Perfect for this project, which is really a great stash buster, I would say. I had 1.5 meters left when I had bound this off, so pretty perfect. And this one, the white, is knit in Drops Lima, which is a wool alpaca blend. It's this sturdy, lovely, budget-friendly workhorse of a yarn, which is really great for something like a pillow, something that needs to be able to take some beatings. For sure, this can take some beatings. I have only 2 active works in progress, and they're both very special projects. They're projects that has been on my needles forever and ever. And they're also projects that I'm sure is gonna turn into finished objects that I will treasure and use for a long time. So I'm quite excited to be working at them again. The first is, of course, my bright sweater. I have shown this more than once, let's just say that. I cast this on pre-pandemic. My idea was that I would cast it on for the first trip where I was going to Texas to see my son's new home over there, and I'd knit the sweater on that trip. Yeah, right. I think I got halfway through the yoke on that trip. Then I did a little more of the yoke when I came home, and when the yoke was finished, I don't know, it just fell to the wayside. I don't know what happened. It was just languishing. But then I saw that Jackie from the Caddy Jack's Knits podcast, she started a bright sweater, and of course she finished hers in a heartbeat. But yeah, that really convinced me that I needed to pick up mine and finish it already, because it's beautiful. And now I finished the body of it, and I started one sleeve. So yeah, hopefully by the next time I podcast, it'll be done. I can't wait. I actually think that I'll be able to wear it down here in the summer, because I chose a superwash yarn. It's a DK superwash. As much as I love the environment friendly features of the non-superwash, I love the look and the feel of the rustic yarns. I'm 56. I can keep warm in a tank top. Superwash wools are just, they're not nearly as warm as the rustic wools. So I'm actually pretty happy with my yarn choice for this one. I have tried it on a million times as I knit the body. When I try on my sweaters, I don't move the stitches around to a longer cord or on waist yarn or anything. Just take one of these plastic thingies. I have no idea what they're called, but I will just place each end on a needle like this, because then if the stitches fall off as I try it on, they don't fall anywhere. They're still on this cord and easy to just pull back in after trying it. But yeah, the only modification I have done so far, this is not something that's easy to modify, because the design and the fit is just, it's so perfect and it's so intricate. So I wouldn't want to modify anything. I'd be afraid of what would happen later in the knit if I were to change something. But I did make it a bit shorter, just a little bit. I said this before, ridiculously short torso, very like squished together. So I wanted this to be not a long sweater. I wanted it to hit just around my hip bone, maybe a little mid hip, something like that. So mission accomplished. all I have to do is the sleeve. I actually love knitting the sleeves on this one. Look at this beautiful center panel that goes down all the way. Isn't it just pretty? I love this. Gorgeous knit, absolute perfection. Can't wait to wear it. And the other forever knit that I am working on is my second half and half wrap. And actually, this second is my first. This is the one that I cast on almost a year ago. I knit the brown half out of some Drops Fable, a sock yarn. And then I started adding the second color, which was a variegated green from Hobby Lobby, Yarn Bee Authentic, and I think the color was Hazel Basil. Beautiful green. It was amazing. Just wasn't for me. I'm not a green person, and I don't think I own anything in green. So I ripped it out. I actually did a yarn swap with the yarn, and then I decided to make the other half striped in black and white. Yay, well within my comfort zone. Maybe I'm gonna make one or two of the white stripes blue. I did bring like this baby blue that I could use. Maybe. Let's see. To be determined. But yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna love the play of the stripes against the solid color. And it's quite simple. Of course, you have to make some modifications if you wanna make one half of your half and half wrap striped. Either you should start with the half that you want to be striped. If you start with that half, you'll have no problems at all. You can just knit it according to pattern and everything will be fine. I think. Yeah. I think. But I had already knit one half. I was not going to rip that out. No way. So I had to, after knitting one half, you knit through first with the color that you used for the first half, and then you knit over with the contrasting color. And I can easily say that this is a free pattern. I'm sure you all know the pattern from Pearl Soho. If not, I'll link it in the description box below. But of course, if you want stripes, it wouldn't look nice to have a row or two rows of one of the colors. So I just did all of the knitting in the middle, the resolving all the short rows and stuff. I did that in the brown color from the first triangle. And then I just started knitting. I did plan out my stripes. So I'm making the large version, which means that I have 260 stitches on the needle. So I decided that I would use one color until I had 20 stitches, and then one until I had 40, and so on and so forth. So yeah, still enjoying working on this. The project that never stops giving. I really, really love it. Super excited to be adding the stripes. There's something so lovely about knitting stripes. You always just want to see what happens when I add the next stripe. Oh, how will that look? And should the next one be baby blue rather than white? And yeah, I foresee a lot of fun knitting this one. I know that I said that I only had 2 works in progress, but of course I've also been doing some knitting for Lucas. I have of course finished the family sweater for Lucas. I'm just gonna post a picture. I think the last time I podcasted I only had half a sleeve to go, something like that. So of course I finished that. And when I finish one thing for Lucas, I need to cast on another thing for him. So I cast on the knitting school's hat, Strikkeskolens hue. And this is, I mean, this is a project with a lot of wow factor, right? Impressive. But it's gonna be great. I'll just post a picture of the finished hat. It's so cute. It's not to toot my own horn, but it is so cute. It's a free pattern that's available on Ravelry and in my web shop. And it is super, super simple. You just knit this long tube in pure stockinette in the round, and then you do some quick decreases for the crown. And then the magic happens when you fold this long tube. So what you will end with is 3 layers in the brim and 1 single layer for the crown of the head. And I love it, and I love that there is not this knit for this many centimeters and then turn your work inside out. You just knit long tube pure stockinette stitch. Perfect car knitting, actually also really good for if you knit and walk, like you go on a small walk, and this can just knit itself as you're busy doing other stuff. I am using some Drops Baby Merino. I don't remember the number of this color. I'm gonna put it in my show notes. It was a leftover skein that I had, and I thought it was a bit, I wasn't crazy about the color, but then I added in the kit silk, and that really toned it down and gave a much prettier fabric. So yeah, this is super easy, super happy knitting that I am really enjoying having on my needles. That was it for the creative content this week. Not a whole lot, because what I've been knitting has been super simple or something that I have shown a multitude of times. But I am enjoying my knitting anyway. I'm also enjoying life down here in Italy. This house, we bought it back in 2006. And we've been using it as our vacation home ever since, and we've always had this dream of one day actually setting up our base here. So now it's done. Now we're here. I have officially moved out of Denmark and into Italy. And I'm still super excited about it. I really love being here. This house means the world to me. It's a really, really old house, like hundreds of years old. The history of this little town that it's part of goes back hundreds of years. Today, it is what you'd probably call a ghost town. Our house has been rebuilt, and one more house, but the rest is just, yeah, beautifully sitting there, remembering happier times, or probably enjoying the silence of these times. When we bought it, it was already rebuilt. There's a lot of work in rebuilding these old houses, these rustico, because of course you can't just knock them over and put something brand new. You have to make sure that what you put is the same style and also the same size as what you're taking down. So when we bought the house, the man who had rebuilt it, he showed us photos of what it looked like before and after, and it is basically the same house, just with a modern twist. And we have slowly made it our own, and yeah, we're so happy here. It's just an amazing area. It's rather close to the Como Lake, but far enough away that everything here is quiet and it's calm. It's so peaceful, and we're halfway up the mountain, so we have a great view over the lakes, and not many people come up here. So yeah, perfect little spot that we've found. I am gonna include some footage that I took last year. I haven't had time to make anything this year yet. We've been pretty busy moving in and opening the house. We haven't been here earlier this year due to the COVID restrictions and everything. We haven't spent nearly as much time down here as we usually would have, but now we get the chance, and we're both fully vaccinated now, so yay for that. Our youngest son and his family have already been here to visit us. Now they have moved over to the Garda Lake, where we're gonna meet them in a few days, and then they're gonna come with us home again. And we also have some of Peter's family arriving. My mom is gonna come later in the summer so that we can celebrate her birthday down here. And yeah, it's gonna be a nice summer. Nothing bad to say about the summer plans for this year. So I'm gonna end things here, because if not, I'm just gonna waffle on about the beauty of this place. I'd much rather show you. I'm gonna put on the small video now. Please take good care wherever you are in the world. If you're at home or you're traveling, if you're on vacation or at work, I hope that you're enjoying wherever you are. I hope you have some satisfying knitting on your needles. If not, put it aside, cast on for something new and shiny. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again next time.